So let's begin with your favourite. I'm going to pin you to the wall, Adele. I know. I mean, I was trying... Mine might be E.T. Is that really bad?
Oh, it's a classic. It's a childhood classic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so good. Okay, well, that's
All
mine.
right.
What's
Okay.
yours?
Well, look, I would have to say I'm a huge fan of the new Star Wars rebooted franchise. I am loving it so much. So if you had to pin me to one, I would cheat and I would say those three, even though the third one isn't out till this December.
Very good. Little workaround there. I mean, let's talk about some of the others. Some goodies, some not so good in the sci-fi area. What do you think are the classics and ones that maybe haven't worked so well as well?
Well, to start with the classics, I think to have a think about what is a classic sci-fi film, I think you can actually look at what has been rebooted to show for the new generations of moviegoers coming up. So you start with Alien, with Star Wars, with Blade Runner, with Planet of the Apes. These are all classic sci-fi films and have all experienced reboots in the last several years because they just stand the test of time and want to be shared and deserve to be shared with the new generation of moviegoers.
Absolutely. And what about ones maybe that sort of missed the mark a little bit?
Missed the mark. Well, I don't know about... Well, I must say that if I had to think of something that is more on the cheesy side of the sci-fi line of... I would have to go back to some of those... The 90s sci-fi films are a little bit a cheeseball, and one of my favorites. See, so even though they're cheesy, they're still so great in their own right. Yep. And one of mine has to be The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis.
The Fifth Element.
I love so much.
I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
I'm so glad to hear that.
And the operatic alien.
Yes, the blue opera. Oh my gosh, we can be friends. Yes.
Yeah. It's good. We can be friends. This is a marvelous. I mean, what do you think it is about spacey films and sci-fi films that make them so popular? And even as you say, the cheesy ones still have a place in our heart.
They absolutely do. Well, what makes them popular? The sci-fi film genre and science fiction in general, it just has a way of inspiring and capturing our imaginations, and it has a reputation for asking those big questions, and after you leave the cinema, you go home, you go away, and for days afterwards, well, certainly I know myself at least, days afterwards, I'm thinking about those big questions and thinking of the future, and is the truth really out there, and all those things.
And do you think there's like a recipe, the elements that you need for a great space or sci-fi film?
Ooh, a recipe? Oh, I think there has to be that adventure element in there, because that's what it is. It's that when it comes to, especially ones, set in space, it is about that space exploration and that adventure. And the recipe would be off script, because the possibilities are endless. So just whatever you can imagine, it can be.
I love it. And then if we talk about, we're marking 50 years since the moon landings,
Yes.
which is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
So if we look at those 50 years in terms of sci-fi and space films arc, I'm going to ask how they've changed and developed. And you're probably going to say, we all do CGI now and whatever.
Well,
but are they still fundamentally the same, or have they changed quite a lot in 50 years?
In the last 50 years of space movies, of the sci-fi genre, yes, it has changed a lot, but you're right, fundamentally it hasn't changed. And I think that's why it's a genre that it's going to continue to endure. How it has changed, yes, it's the CGI. Those special effects are absolutely incredible, the special effects that we're capable of as technology is continuing to grow and sees no sign of slowing down. So I think we're going to continue to see the genre change and develop in really good ways.
But I think still, though, Adele, you can make the CGI amazing, and you can set us in that scene more realistically, but it's still about the humans on those missions, isn't it? It's still about I'm terrified, is there an alien around the corner? Can we fall in love in space? And, it's all still the same human things.
No, 100%. So the rebooted Star Wars franchise would not have worked nearly as well as it's been an absolute smash success. And part of that is not just the amazing leaps and bounds in technology to make all that look so much more realistic. It's also because the acting and the characters are so fabulous. With Rey, with those leading characters, we love them and how they tie back. It's really a family story in many ways, and I think that's what we love about it so much.
Now, just because you love film and I love film, there were 2 trailers that landed. Top Gun Maverick. Oh my goodness, Tom Cruise again, and then
my goodness,
the Cats trailer. You can probably tell from my intonation that I was more excited about one of those than the other. But you have interviewed Tom Cruise before.
I have. How was that? That was an incredible experience. I was on the red carpet as he was promoting the Mummy film, which was a bit of a bomb. I'm not going to lie. The audiences did not receive the Mummy well at all as part of the new Universal Monsters sort of rollout. But interviewing him was amazing. He was such a pleasure to chat with, and he gave me so much time, even though he was incredibly busy. So yeah, he was just so lovely, and he's just a professional. Do you know what I mean?
Is there a picture in his attic? That man looks the same as Maverick as he did however long ago the first one was.
Has not aged a day, right? And I saw him right up close and personal, and he really looks like that in real life as well. It's not like some Vaseline on the lens everywhere he goes. He really does look fantastic.
This is my new best friend, Adele Drover. She's a film critic. So, what is your favourite sci-fi film? 0808 100 9100. We'll take those. You can text us as well, 81333. Start your message, Oxford. Also, what do you think about those 2 film trailers that dropped this morning? Top Gun Maverick, yes. Cats, the musical film version. I'm really not sure. I mean, I don't really like the musical anyway, and it just looks a bit weird, if I'm honest, which really upset Birthday Girl.